E3 2010 continues here at GameSpot.com. We've got the guys from Bungie here. We've got Mike Zack and Lars Bakken from Bungie showing off a little Halo Reach. Welcome, guys. Happy to have you here.
Thanks for having us.
I know people are excited. They want to see this game. I kind of want to just dive in and let you guys take over. But before we do that, let's talk a little bit about this game. Another Halo game. Where do we even start with Halo Reach?
Well, Halo Reach is the last Bungie Halo title, and we think it's our most ambitious to date by far. We've been working on it for 3 hard years, and we think it's our parting gift to our fans who've stuck with us for like 10 years.
And there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
A lot of.
And hopefully also, it's the perfect jumping off point for new people.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a standalone prequel.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to show the campaign, I believe is where we're going to start, correct?
We're going to do a campaign playthrough. It's a bit more of an extended look
Okay.
at what we showed at the keynote.
Okay.
And since this is a live demo of Halo, it's the Halo sandbox, so things change, and it's different every time we play it, which is what makes it exciting.
Should we just jump in and I'll just ask questions as we go?
Let's do it.
So is there any setup needed, or are we going to see?
This is a mission that takes place about halfway through the campaign.
Okay.
The Covenant have been hitting the UNSC ground forces really hard on Reach, and Kat, our second in command to Carter, the main commander of the Noble team, she comes up with a plan to take the fight back to the Covenant.
Okay.
So it's her crazy idea.
Bit of a hike to the launch facility.
Any closer, it's too hot to land.
Copy that, Commander.
Move up the beach, Noble.
So you're here with your squad mates.
That's right. This is the first time in a Halo game you get to play alongside a team of Spartans.
Right.
You play Noble 6, who's a new recruit to Noble team. And you're playing along with Carter, the leader, Kat, second in command. She's got the robot arm there, and George, who's the heavy.
And I would imagine they would all have sort of different specialties, different abilities.
Absolutely, different characters for all of them.
Do you have control over your squad mates, or are they doing their own thing?
They're doing their own thing. And also notice the return of the elite as your principal adversary.
Tell me about weapons. That's a good place to. People always like to talk about the weapons in the Halo franchise.
So right now, Lars is carrying the classic AR. And you're also going to see a couple other weapons, depending on what happens in the fight here, what he picks up and what he switches to. I'll call them out when we see them.
Oh.
Carter just did an armor lock there, which is one of the armor abilities. It's available to the player as well.
Okay.
And Lars just switched to the grenade launcher.
That's like temporary invulnerability or something?
Yeah, armor lock, makes you invulnerable for a certain period of time, and then when you bust out of it, it gives off an EMP that stuns vehicles and takes down shields.
Is that something that recharges after use, or?
Yeah, you can see in the lower left-hand corner is your equipment or your armor ability. Right now, Lars has sprint enabled,
Okay.
and there's a cooldown timer on it. You can swap it out at various points in campaign. Lars just picked up a new Covenant weapon. I believe this is the first time it's been seen. Yeah, this wasn't available in the multiplayer beta, so this is a brand new look for people.
Nice. So can your squad mates die or not get knocked out, or how does that work?
Noble team are important members of the campaign, so they're fictional characters who play into the narrative. But you do have squad mates, trooper squad mates like in previous Halos.
Red shirts?
Yeah. And they perish. Lars just assassinated an elite there.
Nice. So is there a sense that one of them can get knocked out and you have to revive them, or do they pretty much take care of themselves?
I mean, we bring them into encounters to, add character and flavor at certain points, but there's certainly times when, they don't try and kill steal from you. They're there as a cool companion, but I think there's a balance between how much they engage and how much they hang back. They're not always there with you necessarily.
Sabre is prepped and ready for launch.
Struts disengaged. Commencing launch in T-minus 5, 4, 3, 2.
See what happens. Yeah, very dramatic.
First stage engine run nominal. Stage separation in 3, 2, 1. Stage separation. Second stage ignition confirmed.
I would call this a new vehicle, guys.
You are correct, sir. Yeah, so in addition to the classic Halo gameplay we brought back, we also wanted to give players the chance to do things they'd never done in a Halo game before, to make Reach a really unique experience. And one of those big reveals that we're showing for the first time at E3 now is the Sabre, which is a space flight vehicle. And this is a full sandbox experience here. It's not a rail. Ours is controlling it. He can switch weapons, he can do tricks, he can boost. He's going to fly nice and slow for the first little while just to
get used to it,
and then you get to see how this new vehicle performs in battle.
Combat Air Patrol and Sabre teams are directed to engage and defend the station.
So looks like things are about to get real.
On target.
Banshee has to be in range. Another for me.
Nice shooting.
How are you controlling this?
So it's very similar, sort of intuitive controls like a lot of our vehicles. Left thumbstick is speed control. Left trigger is boost. Left shoulder button in combination with the left stick will pull some tricks. There's rolls and Himmelmans might be required depending on how intense the fighting becomes. This first wave of Banshees is a little bit of popcorn, but it's not going to be so easy the whole time. And then we actually mirror our classic weapon switching on the Y button, so you can actually you've got your machine gun as your primary. And when this next wave comes in, I think Lars is going to start unleashing the secondary weapon, which is tracking rockets.
And your HUD changes depending on which weapon you have?
That's right.
Yeah.
These Seraphs are shielded, unlike the Banshees, so Lars is softening them up first with with the machine guns, and then he's switching to rockets to finish them off.
I got a lot of people asking me if this ship is going to be part of multiplayer.
I think that's one of the most common questions at E3 so far. I don't want to mislead anyone. This is definitely a campaign experience.
Okay.
We did experiment with it for a short while. As awe-inspiring as this can be, it doesn't quite fit with a lot of the sort of core balance of our multiplayer games.
At that point, it becomes a very different game.
Yeah, it does.
But I think that's a compliment. I think it means people are liking what they're seeing. It certainly looks like a lot of fun.
You can also play this sequence in 4-player co-op with your buddies, and everybody gets a Sabre. So that's always available. So it can be multiplayer to a certain extent.
If you're playing it co-op, do the number of enemies change to scale accordingly?
Yeah, we scale all of our difficulty levels based on the number of players.
Okay.
There's a lot of aspects to our AI that we can tweak to make counters more engaging, make enemies more aggressive to pursue you.
Oh wow, look at that.
So Lars just fought off 2 waves of Covenant attackers, and the defenses of the station got back online, and this is about where we cut off. We say, that's our campaign demo.
You guys don't want to play for like 15 more minutes or something? Okay, I understand. No, I don't. I don't understand that at all. So there's your look at campaign, but you guys have brought something else to show as well, right?
Yeah, we're talking about, for the first time now, as of last night, Firefight is actually back in Reach, and it's better than ever.
Nice.
When we kind of wanted to bring Firefight into Reach, we took a long look, like, what are the things that are important? And the number one thing was matchmaking. Matchmaking is in Reach Firefight. You're never going to have to play Firefight alone in Reach, which is going to be amazing. You can play with your friends still. All the great networking features and upgrades and social preferences you experience in the beta are being fused into Firefight as well for that matchmaking experience.
Before we look at the options, for the 4 people who don't know, what is Firefight?
Sure. Firefight is the cooperative game mode we introduced in ODST. It allows you and up to 3 of your friends to play together on the UNSC side and fight against unending waves of Covenant AI. So really it's just putting you in a Halo sandbox and letting you play as long as you want.
And I haven't seen it yet. You guys are going to show it here, but I would imagine you guys have a ton of options.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was the second thing. We wanted it to be customizable in the same way that Halo 3 and then the other Halo multiplayer games have really been. So we kind of decided to completely blow the doors off, and you can do amazing things like come up with what type of enemies you want to be in each specific wave. So I'll just go into the options really quickly. Round 1 wave properties. If I want to set up my initial wave to be all grunts, I can do that. If I want it to be all hunters, I can do that. If I want it to be a combination of elites, hunters, skirmishers, whatever, and have it be random, I can do that as well. Each round allows you to choose what skulls are on, which is also really cool, so you can set your progression. But the other really crazy thing we did is we said, you know what, let's let players create their own custom skulls as well. So not only do they have all the built-in ones that are kind of modifiers to change the way the AI behave, but now we let players create their own skulls too. And we have that for the AI as well, so we let you play against AI as difficult or non-difficult as you desire. So you can change the damage modifiers, their resistance, what we call shootiness, which is how often they pull the trigger, their vision, their hearing, whether they're immune to things like headshots or assassinations. So really, we're letting players go wild, and on top of that, we're fusing that with all of our full file share and game share, variant sharing tech from Halo 3 and what you saw in the beta, and you can create your own custom Firefight game variants, put them in your file share, save them with your friends. It's completely out there. And we at Bungie are going to be paying attention to what players are doing, and if something cool crops up, maybe we'll put it in matchmaking just to keep the experience fresh.
You can adjust the hearing of the enemies?
Yeah.
What does that do?
It will tell you, or rather you can set how far out they'll hear you, whether you're firing your weapons, or same with the sight, how far away they can see you. If they're eagle eye, they'll see you from a super far distance. Yeah.
Is that something that people demanded? They're like, we want to be able to adjust hearing.
I don't think think it's something people demanded, but it's something that we have access to, and we thought, you know what, let's give the players at home access to it as well.
So they'll be able to share and just create their own stuff from scratch.
Whatever they want to do with it.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome. So, do you mind if we take a few more questions from the audience? All right. Let me see. Let's see. Ron Jolie from Wentzville, Missouri wants to know: will there be achievement awards in Firefight?
You can expect there to be achievement awards across every game mode. Yeah.
I have to ask. Whitson Dodson from Jacksonville, Florida, said Master Chief was involved in the Battle of Reach. Is there a chance he will make a cameo?
I don't, I know the Master Chief is around at that time period, but we're not talking about him at all because Reach really is focused on Noble Team and the events of what happened to Noble Team and the planet Reach itself.
I've gotten several questions like Jacob Calvert's. He's from Mesa, Arizona. He wants to know about how long can we expect the campaign to be?
I think that's really going to depend on how you want to play. I mean, we have 4 difficulty levels from normal all the way up to legendary. If you're playing by yourself or co-op, it's really up to the player. It's kind of doesn't really make sense to put a specific number on it.
Melissa Matsuda from says here Dublin, Ireland wants to know about character customization. What can you do there?
Oh, right. So if players saw that in the beta, we had a teeny tiny bit of armor customization for the Spartans. You can expect that to be completely blown out for the full version of Reach. It's kind of insane. Like, we only showed you, I think, helmet, shoulders, and chest, and there's that's just a tiny fraction of what's going to be available. We can't talk about it yet, but rest assured there's an amazing amount of customization.
The cool thing is the way you trick out your character will persist through all game modes, so you get to really own that avatar you create for yourself.
You'll see yourself in each cinematic as well, so however you've customized your Spartan, if you have some crazy helmet, shoulders, whatever else we allow you to do, that's what you're going to see in the cinematic as you're playing campaign. That's what you see as yourself in Firefight. That's what you'll see when you're playing multiplayer, so it's across every mode.
So I can't tell you how much my email has blown up since this game has come on. And it brings up a more general question to me from you guys, from Bungie's point of view. Like, you guys have such a rabid fan base, and they're so vocal. How do you, obviously you want to make Halo Reach the game you guys want to make it, but you also want to make sure that fans are served. How do you balance that between what the fans demand and what you guys have a vision for? How does that balance for you guys?
That's a tough question. I mean, it's one of those things where kind of internally we like to say we're our own harshest critics, and we play the game constantly. We play it every single day, and yeah, it's that keeping that fine balance of what's still Halo, but what is still making this thing new and adding these new experiences and keeping us happy as well.
I think a lot of it is making sure that we give people a broad range of ways to play the game. We've got our campaign, you can play it solo or co-op. We've got our multiplayer, we've got Firefight, and like you saw with Lars showing all the customization options, if you just want to take something that we've lovingly crafted and we think this is a sweet way to play and you just want to go straight into a game, you can. But if you want to dive really deep into the details like hearing and tweaking all that stuff, like we expose that all. So we hope there's something for everybody.
I think there probably is. All right, guys, the final question is Halo Reach, when's it coming?
September 14th.
September 14th, coming very soon. Mike and Lars, appreciate you guys being here. Thanks so much. Hope you enjoy the rest of your E3. And there you go. There's your look at Halo Reach, guys. We got more stuff coming up, including a look at Assassin's Creed coming very soon. The new Assassin's Creed coming very soon. Stay tuned.